What's up everybody, Dr. Bo here, and we're gonna make a very special video. If you love gardening in San Diego, we're gonna be here with my friend Kevin from HIP Gardening, and he is the absolute genius when it comes to all this stuff. We're gonna give you some posture tips as well to help save your back as you garden all summer long. So come on in this way. There he is, what's up? How you doing, my man? Good to see you.
Good. And then, like, you're walking posture.
All right, we're gonna start with the most important tip of them all in order to save your back. Your lumbar spine is not designed to do this all day long, and we actually do it an average of 3,500 times a day. And if you're gardening all summer long, you're probably gonna do it a whole lot more often than that. So what we wanna do, pretend there's a screwdriver that is going through your hip right here, and we wanna hinge at the hip there. So you wanna make sure that you bend your knees, and what you do here is you shoot your butt back. So Kevin, let's go ahead and practice that first and foremost.
Screw it in.
Yeah, screwed hip. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna shoot your butt back and you wanna bend the knees. Now, that is a perfect hip hinge. And he would do great if he's exercising, but realistically, probably not gonna be able to hold that position for a very long time. And what most people do is they kneel down. So go ahead and do that for me. And whether we're kneeling down or we're standing, we still wanna practice that hip hinge. So just show me a rounding posture, rounding, and then the head down as well. And I feel like this is a common position that people get in, which is gonna create a lot of tension in the low back and a lot of tension in the neck region as well. So let's go ahead and perform that hip hinge. We've got screws in right here, and then we just dive forward there. And the other thing we wanna do with our head, we don't wanna have the head down like you're looking on your cell phone. We wanna keep a straight line throughout, and even if you tuck your chin back just a little bit, perfect. So hinge forward for us. Awesome. So that looks like a very safe position. Obviously you want to maybe place a pillow or some sort of padding underneath. So that is really going to help you save your back and your neck. And then Kevin's going to chat with us regarding some of the tools that he uses here as well.
Yeah, so I'm a pretty tall guy, 6'4", and so if I'm using a raised bed, which are just any bed that allows you to garden off the ground a little bit, that helps, because then when you're doing that hip hinge, you don't even have to hinge that far. Another thing I really like, especially if you're on the elderly side or you just don't really like to stand that much when you're gardening, is a kneeler, which you can flip and kneel on it, or you can just do this and just sit right on it, which is pretty nice.
Awesome. So it looks like we got a really cool setup here. So you want to explain to the folks what you've got going on here?
Yeah, so this is a completely standing raised bed. Like I said, I'm 6'4". I can work in this without even bending over at all, which is perfect if you're mobility challenged, if you have a chronic illness, if you are elderly, if you're disabled. And then over here we have one that's very similar. This is just a little bit lower, a little bit more affordable. You can always DIY one of these. Another just simple way to work in the garden without having to destroy your back. Awesome,
because the less that we have to bend over in this position, the more you're gonna save your back. And we're gonna give you guys a bonus tip. Make sure you stretch before, warm up, get yourself a foam roller, do it before and after gardening, and that's gonna help keep your muscles nice and loose and decrease the amount of tension that you have throughout your neck, low back. And the more walking that you get in throughout the day as well, that's gonna help out. And make sure you hydrate, because it is pretty darn hot in these San Diego summers. So thank you, Kevin, HIP Gardening, and Dr. Bo here. Thank you, folks.